All right, exercise 108, question 6. It says the points 2, comma 1, negative 3, comma q, and 1, comma negative 2 are collinear. Calculate q, the value of q. All right, so if things are collinear and you've got points on the same line, it must mean those points must also share the same gradient. In other words, this line creates a gradient. Therefore, anything on that line will also have the same gradient. So let's have a look, because it's on that line after all. So let's have a go at this. So m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So my first job, find the gradient. So I've got my points here, which is 2, comma 1. And I'm going to designate these, by the way, in a moment as having x or y values. So I'm going to call this one here x1 and this here x2. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to say m, or the gradient in other words, is equal to x2, well x2 is 1, minus x1. Now I'm going to designate the y2. So this is going to be y2, which is minus 2, and this is y1, so it's minus 1. So I've got m is equal to negative 2 minus 1 is negative 3, and 1 minus 2 is negative 1. And negative 1 and negative 3 makes this m value equal to 3. So I've got my gradient. Now what I want to do is to find the value of q. So fortunately, this is not a particularly tricky thing to do. So I can go ahead and use either the y equals mx plus c, which would work just fine, or I could use the point gradient equation and find the missing value. So in this case, I'm just going to have a bit of fun. I'm going to use y equals mx plus c for a bit of fun. Here we go. So y, I'll do it like this, y equals mx plus c. And I'm just going to choose one of these points. So let's choose 2 and 1. So I've got y, which is 1, is equal to m, which is 3, times x, which is 2, plus c. So I've got 1 is equal to 6, can't see it, sorry, 6 plus c. So therefore, if I subtracted 6 from both sides, I've got 1 minus 6. So c must equal negative 5. So my equation now is going to be y is equal to m, which is 3. I'll write this in. So I want to say y equals mx, it's going to be 3x minus 5. That's the equation of the line I'm dealing with. And we want to find out if x was negative 3, what would be q? So let's find out. So x is negative 3, so I'm going to say y equals 3 times negative 3, it's the value I'm putting in, minus 5. So y is equal to negative 9 minus 5. So y, which in this case is q, is going to be, because remember, q is the y value, yes? So q, in this case, I'll write equals negative 9 minus 5 is going to be negative 14. And there's my value for q.